was told to do right. Stick up by my side if they wanna test my life. Yeah, street kid, I was shopping long nights on the weekend. Shorty on me all night.
Good boy. Hey yo, what do you say? What do you know? It's your guy Blue Wise, ready, set, let's go. Hey, so we back, and as you can see, I got my buddy with me. It's my buddy BUSTAH. BUSTAH, what's up, buddy? Say hi to the camera. Oh, he's shy. Anyways, this is my guy. So I made a video, actually a live, check out the live. First of all, shout out to God and Remedies, you know what I mean? They hit me with the fit. Big shout out, salute. So I made a live on my page, right? Talking about the first Pitbull that I ever had, that I ever got, right? Kind of my experience with that Pitbull. I was young, I was dumb, and stuff was a lot different then, right? Hold on. So basically, when I got older, I honestly, I was going through a lot of stuff at the same time when I got BUSTAH, right? So first of all, my brother passed away. Rest in peace, Boo. I mean, rest in peace, Boo. My brother Boo, you know, he committed suicide. I lost him in 2013. He's like my best friend, you know. It's hard to talk about, but rest in peace, Boo. You live on through me. You already know what to do. It's your brother Blue. So around this time, you know, I was going through things with my ex, and you know, so it's kind of like I lost some of my family at the same time. I was going through a lot, you know. So around this time, I get BUSTAH, right? So I get BUSTAH, and he like saved my life, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna run down a few of the things that we're gonna be talking about with BUSTAH, about BUSTAH today, and we're gonna get that right out the way. So just so I don't forget anything, you know what I mean? I smoke a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna lay down and chill. He's cool. That's a big part of this video is gonna be is how cool he could be, you know what I mean? So first of all, the day I got BUSTAH, right? I actually went for his sister. I went to go buy his sister. We're gonna be talking about that. Why I named him BUSTAH, you know what I mean? Shout out to my homeboy in Lynn, Ant Plots, Mass Made Pits, Mass Made Kennels, whatever he's going by now, you know what I mean? You know, puppies, BUSTAH had puppies, you know what I mean? Like I got him after my brother passed away, you know, rest in peace, Boo. BUSTAH saved my life, you know. We're gonna be talking about that, how he helped me, my mother, my whole family. When my mother was sick, he was by her side, you know what I mean? He was in some of my music videos, you know. He's my son's best friend, you know what I mean? I remember one time my son was driving a dirt bike, right? We all out riding dirt bikes, and he wasn't used to it yet. You got to get the dogs used to whatever you're going to be around early. So I started introducing him to dirt bikes so he wouldn't be scared of them. But the first time he ever seen my son on the dirt bike, he didn't mind me riding the dirt bikes. But as soon as he seen my loved one on the dirt bike, he tried to chase the dirt. He actually chased the dirt bike and was biting the tank, biting the dirt bike because it was so loud. He thought it was like maybe harming or scaring my son. So he's very protective of the family, but he's harmless. So we're going to be getting into all that, you know what I mean? He was in music videos, my Right or Wrong video, a few other videos. He got into it with my buddy's dog, Jax. He's an old man now, you know what I mean? He's old, he's chubby, he's slow, he's a gentle giant. He's a love bug, you know what I mean? But he helped me train all my other dogs, you know what I mean? BUSTAH had 8 pups with Jasmine. Shout out to Coupe de Ville. Actually, my next video will be about his daughter. His daughter Veda, my girl. His daughter, my first female pup, my first female pit I ever had. That will be my 3rd video on Veda. That will be my 3rd Pitbull I ever had was one of his pups. So we're gonna get into that, and you know how he's great with animals, people. You know, he's the best dog in the world. And stereotypes when it comes to pit bulls. So just for everybody out there, he's an American pit bull. His father was Nino, big ass blue nose beast. His mother was American pit bull Brendel, so black and white with the brown stripes. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the day I got BUSTAH, right? So I went there for his sister. I went there to actually buy his sister. I was getting him from my homeboy in Lynn, right? A Malden dude that was in Lynn. Shout out to M City, you already know. And Sin City, salute. So, I went to go see my homeboy from Malden in Lynn. I went there, I already seen pictures, videos of the whole litter, right? Excuse me. I narrowed it down to 2 dogs. Excuse me, man. I'm going through things in life like this, right? First of all, I smoke too much weed, so I'm trying to cut down on weed. But when I do need some good weed, Shout out to God and Remedies. I ain't getting paid yet. I ain't sponsored yet, but I'm trying to manifest some things, so bear with me. You know what I'm saying? They look out, you know? They look out for the cookout. So, and again, excuse me, I'm trying to cut down on soda, Coca-Cola. I drink way too much Coca-Cola. I'm always drinking Coca-Cola, so I'm trying to drink water. See, no more soda, all about water. So, the day I went, excuse me, back to the story. Buster, come here, come here, come here, come here. He's on point with it. Looking right out the window. Good boy. Come here. Come here. Come here. He's a good boy. He likes to just land, bro. See? He's a good boy. Who's that guy? Who's that guy, that oh so fly guy? My buddy BUSTAH. BUSTAH, what's up? What you doing? You chilling? Yo, he's laying down. You know what I mean? He's gonna lay down for a minute. You know what I mean? You laying down? Good boy. Alright, so back to the story. OCD, ADHD, all that shit. But I ain't take nothing for it. I just smoke. So you're gonna have to bear with me as I cope. So the day I got BUSTAH, I went to Lynn to see a Malden dude, salute. So when I was in Lynn, talked to my homeboy from Newland, you know what I mean? Shout out to Bowden. I was there to get BUSTAH's sister. I wanted his sister. I already seen pictures, videos, I visited, you know what I mean? I met the whole litter, I met all the pups, but I'm gonna lean back so you can see BUSTAH, you know what I'm saying? It's real comfortable in here, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get comfortable in here. It's raining out, this is what we doing today. So, I go to get BUSTAH's sister, right? And I'm actually in the crib chopping it up with my homeboy. We recorded I think we recorded a song that night, S Squad. Shout out to Ant Plots. So I'm in there, I'm visiting all the pups, talking to my homeboy and shit like that, right? And I'm ready to I'm with my shorty at the time. You know what I mean? I know she's gonna see this video and go crazy that I didn't bring her up. And nah, I ain't gonna bring you up like that. We ain't gonna get into it like that. But basically, it was around the time my brother passed. It was around then after my birthday came up or Valentine's Day came up. She was asking me what I wanted. So I was like, yo. So we took a ride to the hood, you know what I mean? We went to my homeboys in Lynn, and she was like, oh, I see. She's like, I ain't getting you a pup. I'm like, you asked me what I wanted, this is what I want. You know what I'm saying? So either I'm getting a pup regardless, you know what I'm saying? Either you're gonna get it for me or I'm gonna get it. You know what I mean? So I remember her buying the pup for me, and I was like, she was like a few hundred short. So I told my homeboy I'll be back with some bud, threw him a few ounces, and we was straight. But yeah, man, so when I went to go get BUSTAH, I was buying his sister, right? I was 100% planning on leaving with his sister. She was a gorgeous dog. Yeah. She was gorgeous, just like that. She was a gorgeous dog. And I wasn't thinking about breeding or none of that. It never really crossed my mind. It wasn't a plan of mine, you know what I mean? But I wanted the sister because I never had a female dog. My first Pitbull, Tyson, my last video, check out the live. My first video, Tyson, he was a male, you know what I mean? So I was thinking about getting a female for my second dog. Now I showed off the God of Remedies sweater just enough, you know what I mean? But I don't want to show it off too much because like I said, I ain't getting paid yet. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get some ads. We trying to get some sponsors around here. You know what I mean? So I'm there to get BUSTAH. What up, BUSTAH? So I'm there to get BUSTAH's sister, right? I'm holding the sister. She ain't showing me too much interest, right? I ain't feeling the vibe. Like, I love all dogs, especially pit bulls. I got a quote, actually. If it ain't a pit, it ain't shit. So I love pit bulls. I actually eventually got into rescuing, rehoming, and training pit bulls, all because of a certain somebody, a certain dog, right? So I'm holding the sister. She's really showing me not much attention. Like we're getting on and stuff like that, right? That's an Irish thing. So we're getting on. We're getting along good, if you will. You know what I mean? In other words. And as I'm holding her, patting her, talking to her on some Lion King shit, holding her up, this dude comes busting in the room. And now, hold up. If you remember, I told you I don't name my dogs. Like Zeus and Maximus come up with some cool shit. Like Khan, like the Celtic warrior. Like, I don't do that, right? I would love to, but every time I try to, they end up naming themselves. So I let them name themselves. Excuse me. So, since I let my dogs name themselves, I'm sitting there holding the daughter. And as I'm holding the daughter, this dude right here, yeah, you. Nah, I ain't gonna take credit for that. A mailman was walking by. You see, he's on his stuff. He's on it, yeah. At ease, soldier. At ease. So, as I'm holding his sister, he comes busting in the room. Wow. Through the door, right? Which he still does to this day. He can open any door. As long as it ain't locked or rarely closed, he'll just go straight through that shit, right? Right through it. But, so I'm holding the sister. He comes busting through the door. Immediately, he knocks into the coffee table. You know what I mean? This, people smoking blunts and stuff, cigars, if you will. You know what I mean? We're smoking cigars. Not around the pups. They're back over there in their space. We're talking now, right? Kind of thinking I'm, talking to my girl, talking to my homeboy. This is the dog I want. Talking about the sister. Buster comes busting in the room. Wow. Right through the door. Knocks into the coffee table. Knocks over the ashtray. Like a straight savage, right? On some squad shit. I'm like, yo, who's this little Buster, right? He's scandalous. They're like, oh, that's the problem child. Like, he be biting, he be barking. Like, you don't want him, bro. Like, I'm like, what? And then I look down and he's like tugging at my jeans, biting on my Timberlands, right? I'm like, yo, what's up, Buster? Come here, Buster. So I'm already calling him Buster. I only met him 3 seconds. I'm calling him Buster. So my homeboy is like, oh, yo, he would be a lot to work with. You know what I mean? But he knows I got experience. Growing up in the hood, I used to walk everybody's Pitbull. Because at the time, I couldn't own my own Pitbull. So I would walk all the OGs and all the big homies. I would walk their dogs. You know what I mean? Wrestle with them. Just have a blast walking them and fronting and peacocking and posturing and posing and flexing, pumping out my chest in, acting like they're mine, walking around the hood, walking through Newland, walking through the projects, walking to Linden, Bowden. But anyways, the sister, she's really not paying me no mind. He busts in. He starts chewing on my Timbs. And my homeboy's like, see, I told you he's a problem. He be biting, barking. Can't get him to stop. I'm like, alright. And I look at my shawty at the time, right? I look at Shorty. Shorty's like shaking her head no. Excuse me, I get a cold. As soon as she shakes her head no, yeah, I shake my head, yeah. I ain't getting a female. Nor is my female gonna tell me what I'm doing, right? So I said, I want him. And since he's such a problem child, you know what I mean? You could drop the price a little bit, and I'll fix that real quick. I'll train him. You know what I mean? He's like, word, I got you. He's like, but yo, I'm like, yo, I got you, fam. So we're very good friends. Let me shout out to Ant Plots. We're very good friends. We came up together. My older brothers know his older brothers. I knew him. He knew me. He knew my brother Boo. Rest in peace. So naturally, we had a good rapport. We was good. Bang. We shake hands. Forget about it. It's done, right? That's it. I leave right then and there with my homie right here, right? So when I first got him, he was a puppy. He was real active. I lost a lot of hats. I lost about $300 because I would keep hats stacked everywhere. And he would chew my boots, all my Timberland boots. He would chew my sneakers, all my Air Forces, right? My Air Maxes, all my Nikes, right? And he would chew my hats. As a pup, like the first few days, I had to train him. I gave him a bunch of toys. I crate trained him, potty trained him, gave him a bunch of toys. And I taught him real quick that you can't be biting on my hats and my sneakers. And he learned real quick to the point where my homeboy still to this day be giving me mad credit. And he still has a dope bloodline of pit bulls. And whenever anybody is gonna purchase a pit bull or do business with him or get a dog from him, he be using my dog Buster, as an example. Because of how good he is with people, pets. You could bring him around dog, a fucking ferret. You could bring him around cats, people. He's the friendliest dog. He's the best dog I've ever had in my life, hands down, right? And he loves my family. He's great with kids. He's great with my nieces, my nephews, my cousins, my brothers, my sisters, my parents, like everybody. Like everybody loves Buster, right? He's a family dog. Shout out to the Rileys, McLaughlins, and the whole squad, you know what I mean? But he's a family dog. And everybody helps, like, they love Buster, right? So his puppy days, he was real active. He'd be chewing on anything from a tennis ball to a basketball, because I would give him ropes and toys so he wouldn't chew on other stuff, right? And I'm going to slide in some videos and some pictures so you can see Buster as a pup. Maybe Buster full, midway grown and then eventually full grown, you know what I mean? But I would be walking around the hood with Buster, just flexing, just reminiscing. Like, I used to walk around the same neighborhood as a kid with the old heads, you know what I mean, with the old timers, respectfully. I would be walking around with their dogs. Now I'm walking around the hood with my dogs. So Buster was my first, like, you know what I mean? I was my first pit bull as an adult, if you will. Tyson was my first pit bull. Buster was my first pit bull as an adult. So I'd be walking around the hood with him. He was in music videos. He was in my Right and Wrong video. I want to say he was in my Cash Rules video, but I don't think so. My dog Cash should be in the Cash Rules video. That would be my fourth dog video. But I think he was in Stand Up. Yeah, so check out Ronnie Blue Eyes Stand Up on YouTube. There's a whole music video, and he appears in that. And he appears in my first music video as a solo artist called Right or Wrong. Check that out. So he's been in all kinds of shit. Now he's never been vicious, other than like trying to bite the dirt bike that time when my little guy was riding it, right? He's never been vicious, but eventually I did breed Buster and have puppies, right? Shout out to Coopterville and Somerville, Winter Hill. We'll get to that. We gonna get to that. But the one time he did get into it with a dog, my big homie, I had a big homie, Happy, shout out to Happy, and he had a dog named Jax. He was a big ass pit bull. And he's like, yo, what up? Bring Veda, which is my female dog, his daughter. He's like, bring Veda down the park. And I'm like, alright. But I'm like, why wouldn't I bring Buster too? I'm not knowing at this point, because my big homie, he had pit bulls his whole life. A lot of my older homies, they inspired me to get pit bulls, the Newland dudes, right? So he knows a lot about pit bulls more than me at the time. So I was like kind of ignorant, like why wouldn't I bring them both? Not knowing that they're both males and they're gonna be territorial over Veda, the female, especially Buster, because that's his daughter, or whatever he looks at it, like his girlfriend or his best friend or whatever. But they were like this. They didn't go nowhere without each other, right? So I've never seen the aggressive side of Busta until I brought Busta and Veda to meet up with Jax. And as soon as Jax tried to jump up on Veda and mount Veda, Busta and Jax locked up. They locked jaws. They locked mouths like this. You couldn't get them apart. They were like alligators, crocodile. Straight up. So, and when I say I couldn't get them apart, I was with three big homies, OGs, like stand-up guys, solid dudes. I was with me, my homie Crooked, my big brother L, and I was with my brother. I was with his homie, my brother's homie, Shabs. Know what I mean? Shabs is cool as hell too. Salute, Newland. Know what I mean? But you know what we doing. Who you think you fooling? Not this kid from Newland. But so basically it took the four of us, and them three are beasts. You know what I mean? Compared to me, they're all beasts. They're strong as fuck. And we couldn't get these dogs apart, and we didn't want to hurt them, but eventually I got Busta to listen, because I never thought this would happen. And my big homie told me, he's like, yo, I told you not to bring. I said, dog, I didn't even think of it like that. As soon as your dog tried to jump on my female dog, my male dog jumped, you know, and it wasn't just Busta. It was like immediate. When Jax tried to mount Veda, Busta looked over and Jax looked over, and they both just locked. You know, Jax wasn't the aggressor, Busta wasn't the aggressor. They just both locked up like it was natural. You know what I'm saying? This is a dominance thing on some alpha shit. They're male dogs. They're beasts. And I'm going to add this, right? Because I've been in this situation too. Busta was half the size of Jax, and Jax couldn't move Busta 1 inch. Nor could Busta move Jax 1 inch. They was just like this. There was no, you know what I mean? They was just like this. They couldn't even, they were locked up. So it was like a fair, but we didn't let it turn into a fight. We deaded that. I'm not into that. Like I said, I done rescued, rehome. Shout out to my homegirl Jackie. What she does is she's doing great things. But we broke that up quick. I just wanted to add that Busta's the most perfect dog in the world. But before I got him fixed, and he just had a litter of dogs, the first time I only seen him get aggressive towards another dog is because he was protecting his daughter, and I didn't realize it at the time that I put him in that situation. So if I had listened to my homie, so I live and I learn and I grow, you know. So if I had listened to my big homie in the beginning, it would have never happened. But me being me, and you know, being me, straight up, actually just being me, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna bring them both, like let them all run around. Just at the time I was ignorant. So I just wanted to add that, you know what I mean? So let's get into Busta having Jazz, right? So, I mean, meeting Jazz. Jasmine is Busta's baby's mama. Shout out to my homegirl, Coupe de Ville. That's the cousin over in Somerville, Winter Hill. And she had a gorgeous dog, all red and white, red-nosed Pitbull, Jasmine, right? So Busta and Jasmine hung out, and they ended up, you know, Jasmine ended up getting pregnant with pups. So Busta and Jasmine had 8 pups. Shout out to Coupe de Ville again, because she did a great job raising these pups. That's how it works out here. Like, we don't breed dogs, but just common courtesy if it does take place. I got them fixed right after, but and all my other dogs are fixed. But that's why I'd rather rescue, you know. But just saying, you know. But shout out to Coupe de Ville. She did a great job taking care of all the pups, because that's kind of the deal. The male gets the pick of the litter, and the female gets the rest, but she gets the responsibility of taking care of everything, kind of like in nature. You know what I'm saying? No, just kidding. But so I took the pick of the litter, which is a whole nother video. That's how I got my dog Veda, his daughter. That's a whole nother video. I will show a picture of Veda in this video, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time, you know what I mean? But yeah, my godfather, you know, he ended up with a pup. We're gonna get into that, you know what I'm saying? Cookies, you know what I mean? So I kept Veda, the pick of the litter. She's gray and white, like a blue and white Brendel, if you will. One of the most unique Pitbulls and like most unique dogs in the world. Like very unique color, very unique coloring, if you will. It's gorgeous. So I kept Veda. She was gorgeous. And now I had a female dog, my first female dog. We're gonna get into that next video. But what was dope about it, my godfather, rest in peace, King Reaper, he just did 30 years in Walpole Prison. He actually did 10 up in Merriam, Illinois. And I gave him one of the females, Cookies. So he just got out of prison, and he was able to, like, as he was acclimating to society and adjusting and rehabilitating and being, you know, trying to turn civilian and be a citizen, he had a pup by his side. And in the end, when my godfather died, that puppy was still by his side. So I think it was a great thing that my godfather was able to get one of them pups, because he lived most of his life in prison, in and out of DYS as a youngster, in and out of jail as a young gun, and then in and out of prison, in prison his whole life as an OG, as an adult. So, but I just want to say a few things about Buster, right? So whenever I was sick or feeling down, like if I had a cold or if I was just stressed out or depressed, Buster would come up and lay his head right here on my chest. You know what I mean? Like he would kick it with me. And then my mother got sick, right? And like I said, first of all, I got him after my brother died. So I was a mess, bro. I was always depressed and stressed and angry. So he was like something that I had a reason to wake up, take him out, feed him, and I had something to love. So it kind of bounced me back, you know what I mean? It's a scandalous world. Sometimes you gotta bounce back, you know what I mean? And shout out to everybody on the YouTube streets. Make sure you hit the like. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It will help out, right? So he saved my life. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I ain't gonna dress it up in any type of way. He saved my life. My brother committed suicide. He was my best friend in the life. He was my best friend in my whole life. Excuse me, my best friend in the world. And at the time, my wife. You know what I mean? And not literally, but in mass. If you're together over 7 years, it's like common law. You know what I mean? So we weren't married, but she was my kid's mother. You know what I mean? So around the same time my brother died, she caught me cheating and she took off. So I feel like I lost everything. My world was lost. I was alone. It was cold, you know what I mean? And I was just in the zone, bro. I was fucked up. I was partying. I was hustling. I was out there really living it up. I was really out there getting it. I was really out there, you know what I mean? And getting back at it, you know what I mean? It was really crazy, you know? So he saved my life, bro. He gave me something to live for. And he's been in a lot of situations with me. I was walking through the hood a few times. Someone tried to, you know what I mean? They seen him. They're like, oh, shit. So he saved my life in more ways than one. Not just mentally, but physically a few times. You know what I mean? He took a spray in the face from a skunk. Me, him, and his daughter, Veda, we were going out. I was taking them out so they could go to the bathroom. I was taking them out so we could pee, right? And this motherfucker, it was me, his daughter, Veda, in the front, and I lead the pack. And he ran ahead of me, in front of me, which is abnormal, right? So I'm like, so I lead the pack. You know what I mean? That's very important when you have a dog. You got to go out the door first. They got to follow you. You got to come in the door through that threshold. You're the king. You know what I mean? They got to recognize you as a master. It's healthy for them. It ain't no power trip for me. It's healthy for them. It's good for you and them. Because they're pack animals and they need someone to follow, alpha. So anyways, you know what I mean? I was taking them for a walk. And I was taking them for a walk, right? No, we weren't even going for a walk. I'm gonna keep it a buck. We were just gonna go out back so they could do their business, right? And we were gonna go back upstairs. So me and Veda coming down the stairs with Buster, and he could sense there was a skunk outside, right? And he ran right in front of me. And right as I'm like, yo, hold up. Because I got to give them the release to run out and go do their business, right, as we go out. because I took him off leash, but I'm in my backyard, so we're good. And he got sprayed right in the face by a skunk, and he stunk. He stunk like a skunk. And my dumb ass, I could have put his leash to the porch out back, right? There was a porch right out back in the yard. I could have hosed him off right there. Went upstairs, got all the cleaning materials, tomatoes, whatever you want to say in the comments, but your bet, you know, whatever you think. I could have did it right there, but instead, he took that shot for us, is my point. Being protective, you know what I mean? He's a great dog. He's just sleeping while I shoot this whole video. He's just sleeping right here in the backseat chilling. It's a rainy day, this is what we doing. So he takes this shot in the face from a skunk. Wow. And my dumb ass, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to kill that skunk. I'm gonna just say that. But I didn't. I just said, yo, Vader, get over here. You know what I mean? Now, the dog, my bad, buddy. He's up now. You see that? He heard that whistle. He's on cue. You know how I do. So, he takes the spray in the face by the skunk. And my dumb ass just picks him up. I pick him up and I run upstairs. Now it's all over me. I can barely breathe. Now their senses is 100 times, 10 times more sensitive than ours. So if I can barely breathe and I'm choking on this shit and I'm smelling it, you best believe he's feeling even worse than I am. So I'm more concerned about him than me. So I run upstairs. Now everybody in the house, the whole family can smell skunk. I put him in the shower, I wash him. Bro, that was the tragedy. That was drastic, bro, because the whole fucking time, excuse my language, I'm still trying to get monetized. Run these watch hours up. Hit that like button. If you like stunting or if you like something, you know what I mean? But Busta's my guy. If you can't do it for me, do it for him. But he took that shot for me, you know what I mean? So, Busta, what's up, my guy? Yeah, good boy. Yeah, got that smile, you know what I mean? But he took that shot for me. He ran out front. He seen the skunk. The skunk turned directly around and shot him straight from the ass to the face, bro. Like sprayed him. And he just caught it like mace, like pepper spray, bro. Shit was over. We all been there, right? Maybe not, but some of us have, you know what I mean? And when you get gassed like that, you can't breathe, bro. It's crazy. So I'm up there in the tub, scrubbing him off in the shower, rinsing him off, and I couldn't breathe. I smelled like a skunk, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. Honestly, I was showering for fucking days, for weeks, right? For months, every day, scrubbing. And I'm fresh. I'm fresh. This sweater's so new, you can smell the newness. You know what I mean? I'm fresh as could be. But honestly, I was showering, I was spraying Axe, I was putting on deodorant, I was putting on Armani cologne and Versace cologne and Burberry cologne and everything else you could imagine. Cool water from Calvin Klein, from, you know what I mean? Everything in between. So, I would smell beautifully, right? Not be stuck smelling like a skunk. Because he stunk like a skunk for a grip. I did the tomato thing. So first I did shampoo, all that, tomatoes and all that. But anyways, I smelled like a skunk for a grip. No matter how many showers I took, no matter how clean I kept myself, no matter how mint fresh I am and was, I kept it mint, like a peppermint. You could still smell the skunk in the air. I aired out the house, you could smell it. So I would be smoking some weed, chilling, right out the shower with some cologne on, smelling good, smoking a joint. As soon as I work up a sweat, my homie like, yo, I smell that skunk. I'm like, yo, that ain't the weed, bro. That's me. Yo, my dog got sprayed by a skunk, saving me from getting sprayed. He jumped in the way and got sprayed, and my dumb ass grabbed him up, brought him upstairs, tried to scrub him off, and I had that shit all over me. Good boy. Looking out the window, bro. But yeah, bro, he's a solid dog. Other than that, he never meant no harm. He never he never was violent or aggressive. He never caused no harm to any animal, especially the people. He loves people, but he loves dogs. He loves cats. He could be around anything. My mother, I bring him over to my mother's. My mother loves him, right? We're gonna get into that because he saved my mother too. But my mother had cats. You know what I mean? I bring him over there and he's fine. He's cool. He could chill. You know what I mean? He sleep with my mother. He don't. The cat. Cats don't bother him. He don't bother the cats. If anything, the cats be punking him low key. Cat be like Bruce Lee, man, like a snake, bro, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Your cat's like Bruce Lee, but yeah, Buster just be like, you know what I mean? Buster ain't paying that no mind. He ain't paying that no attention. You know what I mean? Buster ain't. He ain't tripping, you know what I mean? Buster's a good dog. Best dog I've ever had. You know what I mean? I could bring this dog anywhere in the world. I bring him in stores. I bring him anywhere. I ain't one of them people that do that, but I could do that if I had to do that, and I've done that. And it's cool. He's cool. I could bring him anywhere, and the people love him. You know what I mean? It's nothing but love. It's all love. You see his little bat ear, because I don't clip their ears. But anyways, speaking of my mother, right? I used to bring him by my mother's. I take care of my mother. I go by, check up on her. But you know what I mean, I got 9 brothers and sisters, so we a whole team. But anyways, I bring and excuse me, I do have a cold. You know what I mean? I do got a cold, so I sound a little, you know what I mean, a little nasally. Excuse me. I don't got my naturally normal voice, if you will, that you all love. Apparently. You know, my Boston accent, but we mauled and made, you know what I mean? Shout out to the whole Mass Mob, Scandalous Squad. But anyways, alright, back into it. I told you my ADHD's a motherfucker, but if you fuck with me, I fuck with you, you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, cause I fuck with you. So, my mother, at the time I was taking care of her, right? And I go by there, and she ain't doing too well. So I call my brother. Shout out to Benny Franks. YouTube Benny Franks, bro. You ain't gonna want to YouTube anything else. You know what I mean? Pop Champagne. One for my city. If you know, you know, you know. That one's crazy. But speaking of my mother, right? So I'm like, she wasn't doing too good. I ain't gonna get into details, but she had to have a little surgery, you know what I mean, stomach and hips and all that, but she healed well, she's fine, great, strongest, most powerful, you know what I mean, strongest willed woman I've ever met. She never bitch complained once in her life. She's solid. She's a strong Irish American woman, and she's the strongest person I've ever met in my life. And I'm a mama's boy, you know what I mean? I got that shit tatted on me. You know what I mean? No exaggeration. I got mom right there, yeah. So I really live this shit, you know what I mean? We really out here. But family first, you know what I mean? I got that shit right there, fam first. Fam first, yeah. And I got family first over here. Yeah, you already know what it is. Honor and respect. I got that shit right there, yeah. You know what time it is, but alright, let me get back to this shit. My mother had the surgery. I went over there immediately. I started to stay with her for a little bit. Make sure to check my, excuse me, you know what I mean? I got 2 phones. One for the YouTube and one for the, hey, whoa. But yo, yeah, man, Killer Bees, Benny Franks. So my mother, maybe I'm putting it off because it's hard to get into, right? I gotta be a little bit vulnerable here. So, first of all, rest in peace, King Reaper. Rest in peace, Robbery. Rest in peace, Boo. So, it was awesome that I got to get my godfather cookies, which is Buster's Vader. That was awesome, right? We're gonna get into that in the Vader video. But my mother. So my mother, I immediately went over there, started to stay with her. brought Buster with me. God is my witness, right? I tell you like this. Shout out to the whole Scandal Squad, right? We really out here. Rest in peace, Boo Boo. He must have been shining down listening to my prayers, right? But I'm going to say it like this. A lot of people, they see a Pitbull and they're scared immediately, right? But originally, these were bred as nanny dogs. Like, I won't say they was bred as, that could be controversial statement right there. I know people think they were bred for fighting. But nah, they were turned into bullfighting and pit bullfighting, hence the name Pitbull. They used to put them in pits and fight rats and other pit bulls. That's why they clip the ears. But if you clip the ears, that fucks up their balance. But I'm going to bring you to school another night. Another day, if you will, right? But when it comes to my mother, man, I went there, I stayed there, I took Buster with me. This dog was so gentle, dude. My guy, Buddy knew. Like, they know, they could sense things coming a mile away. Just like this rainstorm going on right now, this storm. He knew it was going to rain. He knew we were going to get a storm long before we did. We were listening to the weather. That's just an example, right? They could feel it coming in the air tonight. Hold on. Shout out to Phil Collins. Shout out to Beanie Siegel. But nah, seriously, he was by her side 24/7. And more importantly, right, he was by her side. He helped her pull through. I was there like, Mom, let me do this, let me do that. I'll take care of it. I was doing, you know what I mean, doing all the heavy lifting. But what drove her crazy the most, right, is that she's a go-getter. I got I'm a tall individual. I'm 6'1", but I'm lean all the way back because I'm built like that. So that's why I'm all the way like this. I should be up like this, but next video, live and learn. But anyways, he was by her side 24/7. He wouldn't leave her side. And like I said, she had surgery on her side. So we had to be very careful. So I was apprehensive to let him just jump up there. I know he'd be good with her because he knows he's a very smart dog and he's family. You know what I mean? That's family. And he loves my mother. You know what I mean? So I just didn't want him to jump up on her bed where she was resting and healing and recovering and like make her uncomfortable or hurt her hip. I know he wouldn't jump on her because he's very well trained. And that's something I should probably I should have probably got into that more, how well trained he was, because he helped me train every dog I ever had. I mean, we're gonna get into that after, because he would just copy me. I'm the alpha, he follows me, the other dogs follow him, and it just went like that, you know what I mean? But he was so gentle by her side that he would avoid her hip, avoid her stomach, and lay with her that whole process and helped her get through that mentally. And she would pat him and lay with him and sleep with him, and he's stuck with her. And that dog, that means the world to me. He's more closer to my family than he is to me, and it makes me love him even more. You know what I mean? Like, that's my dog for real. He helped me through some hard times. He helped my mother through some hard times. He helped my family through some hard times. And we helped each other, you know what I mean? Just taking him for a walk, it helps us both. But let me just retouch on something real quick, right? When I say he helped me train my other dogs, and every dog I've had after him, since him, or even when I would rescue or rehome a dog, I would use him to help me train them. And let me break that down right quick. So he recognizes me as the alpha, right? Or the leader, right? He wants guidance. I could provide guidance. I could provide him tasks. They love tasks. They love little jobs. They love to have a purpose, just like a man. Like, you know, they want to have purpose, have a being, right? Have a job to do. So I trained him very well. He was really well raised, and I got lucky. He wasn't the trouble dog. He ended up being the best dog. Now he's the prime example of a Pitbull, the best Pitbull in the world. So I used that to my advantage. As soon as he had a litter and Vader was old enough for me to take home and I'll get into why I named her Veda in the Veda video, but basically that's my girl, first female pit I ever owned, and that's why I named her Veda. But so every dog I go out after Buster, when I would take Buster out to pee, for example, right? Buster would follow me and naturally just do his business, and the other dogs would copy him. So I had them so well trained and so fast that it was amazing. But I can't take all the credit for it, because like I said, Buster helped me raise and helped me train every dog that came after him. That's why all my dogs, Veda, Cash, Mick, and we got all them videos coming, they're all very well behaved and very well trained, because I do my due diligence, I do my duty, you know what I mean? Squad raw, I do my thing, you know what I mean? I take it seriously when I train them, because it's so important, because people have stigmas around them, you know what I mean? So I raised them very well. So he helped me raise Cash, Veda first, then Cash, and Mick. He helped me raise them all. But it's so important, especially because of the stigma they have, to be very stern with them, you know what I mean? And to raise them well, and raise them correctly, and train them very well, and train them very correctly, because they have a stigma, and we're looking to break that cycle. Because there's no such thing as a bad dog, just a bad owner. And I ain't looking to be no bad owner. I was never a bad owner. My first dog, Tyson, I was a little immature, and I was a little irresponsible, if you will, at first. I was young, dumb, and full of young. But yo, that's a different story for a different day. But this dog right here saved the day. He saved my life. He was there for me. He was there for my mother. And the dog he produced, that's like a whole nother story for another day. Between Cookies and my godfather, and between Veda and my family, where she's at now and who she's with, it means the world to me. So this dog not only saved my life, helped my mother heal, was so fundamental with my family, he also gave me one of the most gorgeous, the most gorgeous dog I've ever had in my life. His daughter, one of my favorite dogs, probably my favorite female, you know what I mean? One of my favorite dogs in the world. I can't say my favorite because he gave me her, and he's definitely a favorite. He's my favorite dog I've ever had. He's the best dog I've ever had. They're all my favorites in different ways. But I wanted to end this video talking about, and shout out to Tank and Jax and all the other dogs, his pups, you know what I mean? Veda, Tank, Jax, Cookies, Cream. There's a few of them. I don't know what the other people named them, but they're all close circuit, you know what I mean? We'll drop them in the comments. But I wanted to end this video talking about his daughter Veda and the litter he had, because Veda is the one pup I kept. She was the pick of the litter. The most gorgeous dog you've ever seen in your life. And the next video will be all about his daughter Veda, my first female Pitbull I've ever owned. So thank you for tuning in. Salute from your guy Blue Eyes. Stay solid, stay sharp, stay strong, stay smart. Scandal Squad, we out. Peace. Salute.
if I was told to do right. Stick her by my side if they wanna test my life. Yeah, street kid, I was trapping long, long